guys. We will be continuing with the writing and language section, the second section on the SAT exam. The writing section measures how well you can analyze and improve a passage full of various types of mistakes. So this word is key in the writing section. It is really important to analyze. It is all about analyzing in the SAT section. You will be given a passage full of mistakes, for example, and your job is to recognize these mistakes and correct them. That's your job. Or get for example, an idea that is really badly expressed, and for example, an idea that you can express in 5 words. For example, this idea that you can express in 5 words is expressed in 20 or 25 words. So this is a badly expressed idea. You have to just improve the expression. So this is the writing section. And from this information, we can see that there is no handwriting. Please guys, many students think that the writing section requires the students to just grab a pen and write the whole essay themselves. No, there's no such thing. You will be given a passage, and you just have to recognize, firstly analyze, then recognize, then improve or correct the mistakes. You have 35 minutes to read 4 passages and answer 44 questions. Some of you guys will be shocked when you see these numbers. Please don't be scared. The SAT exam is a really fair and just exam. Let's say in this way. Some students might think that how could the time be less than the questions? At least I need 50 seconds or 1 minute for each question, and I have 4 passages to read. How am I able to solve this? Actually, some of the questions, when you know the let's say the tricks in the writing sections, in the writing section, because it's only one section. In the writing section, when you know the tricks, solving the questions won't take a lot of time. Sometimes you can solve a question in an almost 10-second period. I'm serious, guys. Some questions, if you know the proper tricks, you can solve some questions in 10 or 15 seconds only. So you do this, you solve these questions quickly. So when you encounter a hard question that requires 1 or 1.5 minutes to solve, you will be able to solve it, because in the previous questions you saved a lot of time because you've solved them quickly. We will not be discussing the types of passages as we did in the reading section. It's really simple. The reason is really simple. This is because it is not really beneficial to do so in the writing section. Knowing the types of passages in the reading section is actually beneficial. You will benefit, and you will improve your approach, how you approach each passage. But for the writing section, we don't want to mention information that aren't really necessary. So we won't be mentioning the types of the writing sections. Of course, you can look it up on the college board or the internet in general. You can just write writing SAT writing and language section. For example, types of passages or types of questions. You can look it up on the internet, but and for this presentation we won't go through the unnecessary information. Let's continue. with the types of questions in the writing and language section. First type is the expression of ideas. This type of questions focuses on the rhetorical elements of passages. In other words, this part wants us to improve the quality of the passage because it's not about correcting the idea, it is about elevating the idea. So in this part, you will have, like, for example, two ideas. Let's say these two ideas can be expressed, for example, in 5 words. For example, this idea can be expressed in 5 words, and this idea could be expressed in 13 words, for example. But in this passage, this idea is expressed in 25 words, and this idea is expressed in 30 words. So the idea is not necessarily incorrect. We can't say that the idea is incorrect. We can say that the idea is badly expressed, and we have to improve it. Not much like correct it, as much as we have to do some improvements so we can take this idea to a better elevated position. So the first type, let's keep in mind that we're given bad expressions, let's say bad, they're not incorrect, and we have to just improve them, make them better. In these questions, we will be dealing with the following: development of the topic, organization of information, effectiveness of the language use. These pieces of information might look really odd to you guys, might look really weird and like hard to understand right now. We will have to just keep it in mind. So when we go through the course, we have to be familiar with these types or with these information given in this presentation. So development of the topic, you might be given a topic, for example, 1, 2, 3, that has 3 paragraphs. But the paragraphs is not really organized. For example, 1, 3, 2. So he will be talking about something here. He should go to the second paragraph for the good organization, but no, he starts from 1, goes to 3, then goes to 2. So this is the development of the topic and the organization of information. Is the information organized? Sometimes it is not about let's say this is a paragraph. The sentences inside are not organized. For example, this sentence is here, this sentence is here. It's not, it's like really about, it looks like a map. So you see a lot of sentences, and the sentences are a bit disordered. You have to just organize them. This is the organization of information. Effectiveness of language use. So in this section, you will be given a passage, and the words inside this passage are not effectively used. So, for example, he used this word. Let's say a word. One word, any random word. It's not effective to use this word in this context because you have text here, text here, text here, text here. This word here is not really effective. It's not properly used. It's not properly used. So they will be given A, B, C, D. Which of these words is better to put here? This is the effectiveness of language use. Let's move on to the second type. Standard English conventions. I really like to call this section kind of like solving equations. I'll tell you why. This type of questions focuses on recognizing and correcting mistakes in the passage. So as I mentioned, in the previous slide, that the previous type was just to take a passage full of badly expressed ideas and like disordered ideas or like not really organized, information and just to organize it. Okay, that was the first type. But the second type, you will be given a passage full of mistakes. Mistakes like, for example, there wasn't. You see, there is plural. It's used for like people, not only one person. It's used for people, plural. And used was. Was is used only for singular, for one guy, let's say. So this is incorrect, as you can see. And we can also add this for just the sake of the structure. So in this type, the standard English conventions, we will be given a passage full of mistakes, and we have to just correct each mistake. Spot the mistake at first, and then correct it. In these questions, we will be dealing with the following: structure mistakes, like grammar, for example, this mistake, and there wasn't, and punctuation mistakes. For example, this is punctuation, guys. Period, comma, this is punctuation. The most common mistake in punctuation, you have a subject, for example, I play. Okay, subject, this is a subject, this is a verb, I play, subject, verb, then a comma, then a subject and a verb. Let me change the color. This is probably the most common mistake in the SAT, in writing in general. In general, most students make this mistake. You have to add something here, or here, or here. We will go through these in details, but for now, just keep in mind that the first section gives you, let's say, ideas, disordered ideas or badly expressed ideas, and like no organization. You will just organize the passage. In the second question, keep in mind that you will be given mistakes, punctuation mistakes, or structure mistakes, and you have to just correct them. Let's move on to the math section.